So what human design reading can do for you? Okay. So like I said, it's a tool for self-awareness and self-knowledge, which is leading to self-love, right? So self-awareness, where am I? What am I right now experiencing in my life? Okay. And anything, any problems which you're experiencing, any issues which you're experiencing, if we become aware of it, the problem is half solved. You know, the problem identified is half solved. So if I get aware of, for example, I get aware of that, yes, oh my God, I have a depression, which means something to do with my emotions. So then all I need to find is a solution, but I'm aware of the problem. And self-knowledge is about knowing who I am, right? So if I know who I am, I can know with the act of awareness, how much have I deviated from my true potential. And when I bridge that gap, that's where the path of self-love is. And self-love is all about living as your true authentic self. But people ask, you know, everybody says, be yourself, be yourself. But who am I? How do I be myself, right? So that is what human design reading can do for you. You know, answer your question that this is who you are and this is who you can be. And this is not a religion. This is not a philosophy. This is not a belief system. It's a very scientific system based on your birth details. And it gets you a genetic, you know, makeup of how you are designed. It considers your body. It considers all your organs and everything, and how your personality is designed. So it's not just, you know, something which is talking about psychology, which is about the mind or anything. It's considering your mind, it's considering science, quantum physics, and everything is combined into a system which can be experimented. So the line which we say for this is living your experiment. You know, human design is all about living your experiment, right? Correcting decision making. So when people come to me for trauma healing, and I'm like, okay, you know, now you've healed. How do you not create new experiences which are again traumatic for you? So this is where we start looking at the correct decision making, which is aligned with that unique individual, right? Understanding relationship dynamics. So when I understand myself, I understand who I am and how unique I am, and I start exploring how others are unique and individual and different. And this is what creates compassion within us. So I'm not going to put a pressure of my expectations on this individual. For example, if somebody is someone who makes decisions and it takes a long time to make decisions, and I'm someone who makes spontaneous decisions. So I'm not going to put pressure on this other person because this person is not like me. So many a times we are like, oh, you're too slow. You're too slow in life. So that's a judgment which comes from not understanding and appreciating and respecting the other person, right? So understanding relationship dynamics. So obviously the relationships are going to improve drastically. So when we read, you know, charts, so there is, you know, we'll be talking about, you know, the packages down the line, Ilu. So there will be an opportunity for people to come together and, you know, get their reading as, you know, as a couple, right? Understanding areas of conditioning. Conditioning is a very, very important word. And so think about, this is who you were born naturally, okay? And then all those layers of expectations and trainings and education system, you know, imposes all those layers of information and behavior, you know, all those training on you. And that is what is conditioning. So what we are doing is basically breaking down all those layers of conditioning and look within and ask who you really are. Who were you born to be? And this is where we find out from human design, which is areas of conditioning. And then we start with what is called as the journey of deconditioning, right? And it's a step-by-step journey. And it takes around 7 years for your body to completely transform. The first phase, yeah, 7 years. So it's not like a, you know, quick, you know, scheme where you're like, okay, you know, I get a reading and now it's magically I'm going to transform. Like I said, it's not a healing technique. It's a map. It's a map, a living manual, which you need to start living. You need to start exercising, right? So if I tell you how to make correct decisions, and if you're not, you know, if you go back to your old ways, it's not going to work for you, right?
Absolutely. Right. This is very fascinating, Amit. And in fact, I was just coming in very quickly because Preeti and Pooja have put in questions about, okay, so who am I? And they've given their date of birth and year of birth. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell everybody, just, hang on. There is a little more coming up here in order for you to understand what exactly, is this, what is human design? I mean, what is it all about, which is what Amit is explaining. And yes, you will get to experience, you will get to know something or the other more. So hang in there, please. And thank you so much for your patience. And we're going to need more information than just what you're putting in. We will tell you in a quick bit about that as well. Sorry about that. Amit, please continue.
Awesome. No, most welcome. Most welcome. And this is all for you guys. So absolutely. And lastly, diagnosing causes of illnesses. I mean, we are living in a time where the illnesses are so much on the rise. I mean, if you look at the generations of our grandparents, they were not so many illnesses. And I got into this field, like I was in my last role, I was working as a director of Asia Pacific in an IT company, and I was drawing a decent amount of salary, right? But I quit that and got into this whole, healing journey and this calling for it because I wanted to heal myself. So like I said, I used to be so sick. And now I have a control over what factors are impacting me. So like I said, I'm a highly sensitive person. So now I know when I'm following my, correct decisions, when I'm following my correct way of living, I don't fall sick that often. And when I fall, I know where I have deviated. So right now, what we need is that control over our health. So once we start making the right decisions, start living correctly, for example, human design reading also lets you know how to sleep correctly. Everybody has a different way of winding down. Everybody has a different, energy level and how they wind down and how they bring their day to an end. And that's a very vital information, right? So diagnosing causes of illness. So I've been working with hundreds of my clients where they came for trauma healings, where they came from ancestral and chronic illnesses. And using their chart, I've been looking at what are the possible areas of conditioning where they would have picked up something, okay, where they would have picked up something, either from their family members or somebody, some stranger or anything. But that's where you can find out what's going on, right? So, okay. Let's look at, now we'll be going a little deeper into human design and how you are designed. So we'll talk about crystals of consciousness, very interesting thing. Personality and design, aura, strategy. So aura is how you are being in the world. Strategy is how you're engaging with the world. And authority is how you're making decisions in the world. Very powerful things. And lastly, we'll be covering centers, okay? And we will talk about, what centers are and how, why they are so important. Okay.